Oh, okay, that scared me.
All right, good afternoon. I am calling the meeting to order at 5:32 p.m. Let's do a roll call to see who's here. This is Brian, and I am present.
This is Rainey and I'm present.
This is Hay, and I am president. I actually have my dad with me today.
Welcome. And we have a quorum. Item number 3 on the agenda, Governing Council Administrative Discussion and Action Items. 3.1, recommendation to approve the agenda for the February 9th, 2026 regular meeting. May I have a motion and a second, please?
Yes, this is Rainey and I make a recommendation to approve the agenda for February 9th, 2026 regular meeting.
This is Hay, and I second the motion.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey, I approve.
Sorry, this is Hay, and I approve.
Thank you. Motion passes. Item 3.2, recommendation to approve the minutes from the January 15th, 2026 regular meeting.
This is Rainey and I make a recommendation to approve the minutes from the January 15th, 2026 regular meeting.
This is Hay, and I second it.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey, I approve.
And this is Hay, and I approve.
The motion passes. Item 3.3, a recommendation to amend the minutes from the November 17th, 2025 regular meeting to correct an error. It was a very small error that was found just in terms of who was present and who voted on the motions during that meeting.
And this is Rainey, I make a recommendation to amend the minutes from the November 17th, 2025 regular meeting to correct the errors in terms of who was present and who voted.
And
Hay, and I
GC,
second.
oh, sorry, hey, if it's helpful, the corrected minutes have been uploaded to the meeting materials.
Sorry,
Thank you,
yep.
Lori.
I second it.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey, I approve.
And this is Hay, and I approve.
The motion passes. Item 4, public comment. Is there anyone on this evening wishing to provide public comments? It looks like everyone here is actually participating in the meeting, so it looks like we don't have public comment this evening. Item 5, stakeholder reports and action items. 5.1, director's report. Lori.
Thank you. So we are in February. That means that we are in lottery season. We opened our lottery and applications have been arriving. Let's see. If you give me a minute, I'll show you our recruitment flyer. We are also holding a information night for our current fifth grade families about the middle school program. That's happening this week on the 11th. Kana is a part of that. Kana, I don't know if student council is going to be involved as well, but we're excited about that. Give me 1 second. All right, here we go. We also have a flyer for the school. The lottery closes March 13th. Our open house is Saturday, March 7th. So we hope to see lots of people coming out for that as well. And then our current families will be asked to fill out their intent to return form coming up here before the lottery deadline. That allows us to know exactly how many spots we have to fill through the lottery. So that's our update there. What else was I going to talk about besides the lottery? Mountain Mahogany is, the backpacking trip. We are deep in the planning of our backpacking trip. That's going to be taking place in June. We opened it up to 8th graders and invited them to sign up. It's now closed for 8th graders, and I think we still have about 8 spots remaining. So it's been opened up for 7th graders to sign up for those spots. If there are more 7th graders than available spots, we'll hold a lottery for those spots. We'll be taking 18 students and various adults to support that backpacking trip. We've acquired a bunch of supplies at a very reasonable rate to make it possible for us to do that. So I'm really excited about it. Grateful to Saba and Josh, our middle school science and math teachers, who've been spearheading the organizing for that. The last thing I want to share is that Mountain Mahogany was chosen to be a part of a state it's actually a research pilot project into innovative staffing models. So we're joining East Mountain High School, Santa Fe Public Schools, and I think one other school district. And I believe Carlsbad has already sort of been using this in getting funding to work with a consulting team and to kind of, I think, continue what we already do, which is be thoughtful in how we use our staff resources to support our students, to find the in-between roles, for example, teacher residents who are working into the profession, educator fellows who are taking college classes while working as an EA, hopefully towards working in a school. LEAP teachers who are getting their alternative licensing, and other ways of sort of tackling the challenges of providing what students need from a learning resources perspective. So I think we will be receiving about 86,000 this year, which is going to be quite challenging to spend before the end of the school year. And then I think there are 2 further years of funding planned. So we just found out about that between the last GC meeting and this GC meeting. So I was excited to share that with the governing council. That's just a quick report. Are there any questions from the governing council for the director's report?
I can start with the backpacking trip. Where is that taking place?
It will be taking place in the Jemez Mountains.
Very nice.
I don't know the exact route, but I'll share that with the governing council before the trip actually happens. We are planning, I believe the last night will be at the Jemez Falls campsite. So I think maybe people may be able to come up and join and like applaud our backpackers as they arrive after their 4 nights out in the Jemez.
Do you know the distance that they're going to travel over those 4 days and nights?
I don't know off the top of my head, Brian. It's, challenging for the age group, but, not a Grand Canyon trek.
And then the state research pilot, I mean, given the examples that you provided, those are things that Mountain Mahogany is already doing. Have you had preliminary thoughts about how you would like to spend this year's money and future money?
I don't at this time. Mary has been asking me that question. Some of it depends on what the allowable expenses will be through the project. Some of it will depend on some upcoming professional development. So the state is working with Opportunity Culture is the name of the vendor. So they're going to be sharing with those of us who are in this project sort of how they envision the model working. And I would love to see spending some money on, different ways to recruit teachers and, like I said, residents into the school, as well as making sure that those people are very supported. I think the model also envisions stipends for existing teachers who are taking on some of those responsibilities to be, a leader for a larger team that works with a group of students.
Do you know whether like supporting teachers with advancing, not necessarily advancing their licensure, but say adding endorsements such as TESOL and bilingual and the coursework associated with that?
That is a really good question. I will ask about
All right,
that
awesome.
when I have an opportunity.
And then my last question is, it's February, of course, and you mentioned the challenge of potentially spending the $86,000. Can it be carried over?
Another good question. I suspect, well, I don't know actually. Um, I don't think the funding has an expiration date like COVID funding did, where like you had to spend it by a certain date or it's going to go away. I will be sure to ask at the earliest possible opportunity.
And just congratulations to you and the team for securing yet another grant. It's very exciting. So good for you.
Appreciate that.
Were there any additional questions from the GC regarding the director's report?
Lori, did you talk about the community school?
Oh, no, I did not. Anna, do you want to talk about it in your head teacher report since you were part of it?
Yeah, sure. It's unwritten, so I'll throw it in.
Okay.
You might be better. You might be better at
Sure.
it than I am, but yes.
So, I guess this was not last week, but the week before. We had a site visit from MC Squared, which is like an evaluation company, and a staff member from the PED community schools department. So Mount Mahogany's been a community school. This is like our 7th or 8th year now, like officially through the state. Obviously, it was named Mountain Mahogany Community School. So I would assert that it's been a community school for 20 years. But there wasn't really a state program back when the school was founded, elected to be part of. We've been doing that work for a long time now. This year, the state offered an opportunity for schools to be certified as like the 6 key practices of community schools. We applied to be certified out of 5 of the 6. This, team effort is in the process of visiting schools across the state. We already had to submit our like written proposal. So we hosted a lovely site visit. We had a focus group with teachers, a focus group with students, a focus group with parents. They did interviews with myself and the community school coordinator, whose name is Bella Brennan, and, just said wonderful, lovely, affirming things about the school upon their visit. And they could tell, how authentically we engaged in the work of community schools. So that was really great to hear. Of course, we're going to get a written report from them. So I'm sure, as well as strengths, it will identify areas of growth or opportunity to grow. So we're looking forward to that as well. If we are certified in a key practice, I believe it comes with like a $2,500 grant. So we might get up to a $5,000 grant. So we might get up to $30,000 through this, which we would put towards community school efforts in the future.
Exciting.
Yeah, thank you for that reminder, Kana. Very timely.
Yeah. I think there's something, another grant-ish thing. Yeah.
All right. Any other questions for the governing council?
Sounds like there are none. Thank you, Lori.
Thank you, Brian.
Getting back to the agenda, we are on item 5.2, teacher report. Ms. Khanna.
Well, our internet was down, and I'm always a last minute kind of person, so I don't have a written one, but I will send it to you because also in that, a lot of other teachers gave me like last minute input today that I haven't even had a chance to read, and I want to make sure that you get that also. A couple of things I want to share with you is that me delving into the AI makes me realize that I feel that our faculty does not really, they have a certain idea of AI that moves it outside of the realm of like just education. And maybe they are not, I'm getting the impression that they're not using any platforms that have other AI possibilities. And whereas the platforms I use, and this part is written, but it's not edited. I'm not sending you something that looks like that. But for me, I feel like, there's a lot of possibility out there in ways that can really help teachers save time, but is still pretty authentically us. So I've tried really challenging some of the platforms that I use, Newsella in particular, which I use a lot. Newsella, for those of you who don't know, is a service that provides various articles. It's really social studies rich, and it levels that article from whatever the original level may be, which often is college graduate, down to about a third grade level is usually how low it goes. And then it offers like annotation services, and so they have added their own little AI service called Luna, and I've tried to really challenge it with some like really like hardcore mountain mahogany-ish, like what is it that you want your students to understand, and then you attach a couple standards to it, and it does a pretty beautiful job, actually. It is slightly easier, like I don't have to worry about the language crafting as deeply, and so I feel like there's kind of a disconnect, I think, for our staff to really understand how it could be really beneficial and powerful in a lot of ways to do things where there is a vast supply of knowledge of teachers writing learning goals, for instance, and that Newsella has used. And are we always doing something completely different or new? Maybe, maybe not. There are a lot of curriculums that have that stuff on them already. But the feedback from everybody else is like, we absolutely shouldn't use it. It robs from artists. It wastes water and it doesn't meet it, and so I think there's a lot of different forms of AI. And I don't think that that's common knowledge, if that makes sense to you. Does anybody have questions about that before I go any further?
No questions. The update is appreciated.
Okay, yeah. And so that is, so I'll give you a more formal thing, because I do feel like we need to explore it. I want to, as head teacher, find ways to sort of, maybe I'll present it to sort of, do a presentation about these are actually some possibilities that we could use that are available to us that aren't doing things like taking artists' work and redoing it, or authors' work and redoing it. And I think that we probably all use a couple platforms where it makes it possible. Quizlet is another one that has done a lot of really pretty good, like generating study guides when I put in the terms for students to learn. It has some good challenging questions for them to think about. So that's my next step. The other thing other than direct teacher feedback is middle school had kind of like an 8th grade Friday. The 6th and 7th went out and they did field trips out in the community. But we had schools come and visit to present to 8th grade. And they were really complimentary about our kids, actually. Like, I was like, I can't believe you. Like, why are you? And they were like, your kids are great. And I always love to have that feedback about how our students ask good questions, and quite a few, and they worked on their next step plans, and they did their, investigating their career possibilities, and it was a really rich experience for a lot of them. And so I think that it just shows how we help develop a students like agency in the outside world and like to move on. Some of our for them, but I think they're asking really good questions, and they're making really good informed school choices that they wouldn't make if they wouldn't necessarily be able to make as well if they weren't with us. And so I'm really proud of them. I was really proud of them. I'm always proud of our students. And then the third thing is, I looked back at my reports. I was like, why do my reports feel the same every day, all the time? Like, and I keep asking you guys, do you have a targeted question? And I look back at my old reports and I realized, like, oh yeah, what I used to do was like focus on a certain part of our mission. So I'm going to ask more targeted questions every month about, Lori, what is it that we call them? They're not really the missions, the 10 core.
Our
Not
values,
tenants,
core
our
values.
values. Yeah, don't we have like 10 of them? So I thought like every month I'm going to have like ask a really targeted 10 core value question. And so that should spice it up a little. And of course, if there's ever anything you guys need to know, please let me know at any point and I'll investigate. That's my verbal report.
Were there any questions for Ms. Khanna about the teacher report?
No.
Great. Thank you very much. Item 5.3, Family Council reports. Lori, I assume that's where it's been. No family. Okay. Item 5.4, Student Council report, and we are joined by students this evening, which is always very exciting.
Yeah, so can I introduce them?
Yes, please.
Anna was here last time. She's our one of our co-vice presidents. Hi, Anna. And if you guys are muted, you should unmute yourselves now. And then we have Benson, who is an eighth grader and been with us for a long time. You may also know his fabulous mother. He's a
Hello.
staff kid, Chandra's kid. Yeah, and he's our one of our fabulous co-secretaries. So he wrote the report that I did send out last minute, but I sent it out. And they're here to report on that, and I'm just here to support them as their advisor. I think that Anna was going to go first. Anna, what do you have for us? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, it sounds good to me. Anna, it's good to see you again. And Benson, it's very nice to meet you. And thank you for joining us this evening. And I will be quiet so you can talk about your report. Would it be helpful if we shared it on the screen?
No.
And it's like going dark on us. It's okay. You got it. Hey, we've done these grams a million times. Just tell us how we do them. All right?
So, like, the validation grams are available in the office until the 13th at 9 a.m. in the morning.
And tell us what they are, Anna, why we do them. What happens to them?
They like go to
Like-
the people that you want them to
Yeah.
go to.
Yeah, they're like a singing gram, right? And then we do them for two things. If you look in the chat, I'll give you a little hint.
For money and the community.
Good job. Yeah, good job. Good job. You're getting so much more braver. I'm really proud of you. You can take it from there and tell us what's up next, Benson.
We have student council will be hosting 2 gaming tournaments, Smash Bros tournament and Mario Kart tournament. Student council will be purchasing snacks and such as Ruffles, pickles, goldfish, and sliced oranges for both tournaments, using the raised money that we've accumulated over the past months. The prize will be a little fidget package for the top 3 of both tournaments. I'm sorry. There will be a total of 40 competitors for the Mario Kart tournament and 30 competitors for the Smash Brothers tournament. We have Spirit Week voting, where people are voting between Character Day and Jersey Day. They will also be voting between PJ's Day and Outrageous Hat Day, 80s Day and versus Formal Day, Twin/Triplet Day, and Anything But a Backpack Day, MMCS a Shirt Day, or School Colors Green and Silver or White Day. Yeah. We're all coming up. We're having the spring dance, probably going to be around the same time as the winter dance, but we're ditching the soda due to sticky pills.
Is that it?
Question?
Should I have said that's it? I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. You're learning. You did great.
Yep.
Both of you are doing great.
Benson, my only question is about the gaming tournaments. Are the competitors just from Mount Mahogany or from other schools as well?
I think that I don't know actually.
Okay.
Yeah, you know. What grades can even enter?
Uh, I
Staff
think
and do you remember the
staff,
grades?
staff in eighth grade, I believe.
I think for one, you guys know the games better for me than I do. What's the four-person one?
I believe that to be actually that could apply to either one.
Oh, okay. So one of them is like fourth through eighth, and the other one is fifth through eighth. And student council did decide to let staff because they feel like they can beat staff. And if we get too many participants, we're going to just do a pool and draw from the pool. And who's going to run the tournament, Vincent?
Lyle, I believe.
Yeah, Mr. Lyle, who is also my son.
Very good. Sounds like there's a lot of exciting things happening. Were there any other questions for Anna and Benson?
So also for the gaming tournament, have the competitors already come forward and signed up?
No, are
Uh,
you in,
uh,
Rainey?
I might be able to do
No.
pretty well with Mario Kart, to be
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. Go ahead, Benson.
I'm not quite sure, honestly.
Uh, I can help with that. We're going to do the sign up sheets, have the representatives take them to their classes and put a little sign up sheet there, and then we'll just cut up those names and pull them out of a hat.
Brilliant. Thank you. That's all I had.
Okay. I think just my last question is, where will the spring dance be held?
I do not believe that's been decided yet. We are deciding a date, but like
I think the
not like
question was where, and didn't you guys want to do it at La Luz? Not at La Luz,
I don't
American
think I
Sign
was there for
Language,
that.
Albuquerque Sign Language.
I don't know if I was
Yeah.
there for that because I haven't been able to participate like as much in the last
Oh,
few
okay.
meetings.
Yeah, Albuquerque Sign Language was great. And they were like, just tell us when. So we're working with Jesse Kalapa, who is a parent and has been DJing to see when he's available, and then we'll see if they're available. Yeah.
Very good. Anna and Benson, well done. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Do they need to stay? Are you guys okay if they leave for all the more boring things
Of
like
course, you are
finances?
welcome. You are
Okay.
welcome to stay if you like, but of course you can depart.
They are welcome to
But
leave if they want
yeah,
to.
does anybody have questions for them before they leave?
Aren't we hurt?
I
Yeah.
don't
Well,
think
I'm
so, but
very
it's
yeah.
it's very much appreciated anytime that we get to hear from students. So thank you very, very much.
Yes, thank you both.
Yeah. I'm
All right.
proud of you guys. Good job.
All right. Have a
Hey,
great
I'll see you guys
evening.
tomorrow.
You too.
All right. See you tomorrow. Have a great
Bye.
evening. Bye.
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 Back to the agenda. Item 6, Finance Committee. 6.1, summary from previous Finance Committee on February 5th. Elizabeth.
Hi.
Hi.
All right. I am going to start with going over where we are with our request for reimbursement. And now you see why it takes me so long, Mary. Trying to hide things so I can actually see the controls. And Mary has actually done some today as well. So this is as of, I think Thursday, because I did this file for the finance meeting. But we're doing pretty good. Most of the things we have filed through the end of December, and Mary's starting working on some of the grants. Sorry, I didn't mean to go that fast. Through the end of January. This one, the out of school time, is one that I need to work on. It's a lot of invoices. I need to get them scanned, and I haven't had time to do it. So, but hopefully tomorrow I will be working on that one because we do need to get that one submitted. But we're in a pretty good place as far as our request for reimbursement. And Angelina got the lunch claim in super early this month, so that's already been done. Any questions on where we are with requests for reimbursement?
Would you mind going to 24,190? I just want to see where we are.
So part of the issue on this particular one is we did not get, there was some confusion with the carryover monies, so we didn't get our bar authority until late November from APS. It has to go through APS.
Right.
So we had to start moving things over, which is why you see that first one not being submitted until middle of December. This is one that Lori and I have on our list to talk about because we use a lot of this funds to pay for our language therapist. And her billing has been a little lower than we anticipated. So it's one that Lori and I have been kind of keeping an eye on. We now see where we're going to be through the end of January. Mm-hmm. So when I come in on, what is today? Monday.
Wednesday.
When I come in on Wednesday, Lori and I are hoping to sit down and be able to say, okay, where are we? Where do we need to be, and how can we move things around if we need to?
Okay. I have no further questions.
Anything with the 24s actually goes through APS, so they're called dependent grants.
I appreciate that clarification. I always look at that one just because of the connection to my work outside of GC work and knowing that they're not going to allow carryover into the next school year.
We traditionally don't leave money on the table.
Yeah.
Mary's really good about that. We try not to.
But this is one that we're looking at also. And part of the problem was it took us a long time to be able to get the grant letter from APS for the carryover, because this one was a carryover last year. Mm-hmm. So it was a little unusual that we didn't get, we couldn't really hit the ground running with this one.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
All right. If there's no other questions, then up next is the pledge collateral report. And the second page is basically the information we get from the bank. And the first page is an analysis of that information. And so basically you see how much our total deposits are. FDIC insures 250,000 of that, and so the remainder is uninsured, and we are supposed to have collateral for at least half of that. And the bank does a really good job of making sure that we have plenty of collateral, and our actual collateral is at almost 124%, so well over the 50% required. So, and every quarter we come and show you that the bank is doing a great job of keeping our assets protected. So thank you, bank.
And Elizabeth, remind them why this is so much higher normally at the end of the year, at the end of the month, than maybe it would be in the middle of the month. Do you remember? Mm-mm. So they have to do this on a daily basis, and our largest total volume of money is the day after we get our SEG from the state through APS, because that's basically $230,000 that hits our bank account on one particular day. So they have to have enough collateral so that on that day they can cover their 50%. Okay. And so they actually monitor this on a daily basis and will be adjusting it, but they try to have enough so that they don't have to adjust it all the time, because they have to put it in basically stasis for us with our name on it. But that's why you'll see it as high as it is, because they're really targeting the highest depository time that we have, and that's usually around the middle of the month, not the end of the month.
Any questions on this?
No, thank you for that.
All right. Next up is going to be the financial statements for the, I didn't do it again, did I? Did I do it again?
The one I saw was up there with everything.
All right, let me go see if I can find it. It's possible. So, Brian, you probably just downloaded this. Is it just the one page, or is it like 24 pages?
It is one page, the payroll disbursements.
It's because I had to make a correction, and apparently I only uploaded the page with the correction on it.
You should have it from the finance committee, though.
I do, but it's not going to have the minus 270 there from the voided check.
That's okay. We'll just
Yes,
tell them
I do.
about it.
I'm so sorry. I promise I will upload it as soon as we are done, and I am going to open the one that has all the pages. I struggle with this stupid report. Okay, so this is the statement of financial positions, and we just finished, well, December just finished the second quarter of the fiscal year, and as of the end of the second quarter, we had $1,410,140, of which $697,505 were in operational. And you can see these negative numbers here pretty much correspond with the funds that we have requested reimbursement for. So those are grants that we spend the money and then we have to request reimbursements for. Are there any questions on the statement of financial position? All right,
No
I'm
questions.
going to move on to the statement of revenue, expenditures, and changes in fund
Can
balance.
we go back to the other one for just a minute? I wanted to point
Sure.
something out.
Okay. What page do you want?
One of the right there.
Okay.
If you notice the total, you'll see that in the kind of the middle, it talks about liabilities, and it's payroll liabilities. So this tells you between the employee and the employer's portions the cost of our monthly benefits for our employees. For example, ERB, that's a $60,000 basically bill. Most of it's about a 60% for us, 40% for them. The retiree health is 2% for us, 1% of our employees. That's around $6,300 a month. MMCS is all of the insurance programs that we provide our employees, and those average between 20% for employees' costs to 40% for employees' costs. That's $25,000 a month. So just as information, those are some of the benefit costs that we have on a monthly basis for our employees. Go ahead.
And the statement of revenue, expenditures, and changes in fund balance especially gives you an opportunity to see where the revenue is coming in and how we're expending, where our expenditures are. Anything else interesting to say about that?
No.
No? Okay. And then the next one, if there's no question on this, is of course my favorite. And the one page that you saw that I uploaded, I'm so sorry about that. This is our cash disbursements. Let me make it a little bigger so you can actually see what it is. See, you'll see a lot of Science Olympiad materials, and there's also a registration fee in here somewhere. That was for our team that did really, really well. And it's going on to state, which is awesome. Any question? Oh, and this was, so in the page that I uploaded, I had not carried the value over it. So this is actually a minus 270 for this check that was lost and voided. And then it's part of a payment further down, which was actually this one right here for $720, of which part of that was a reissue of the $270 check. Funny story on that one. That actually got, no? Okay. Any questions on anything else you see in here? A lot of awesome hour. We're stocking up for the trek because we're doing the trek ourselves this year. So we are buying sleeping bags and sleeping pads and stoves and all sorts of fun stuff.
Looks like replaced blower motor. You got some maintenance stuff, repair a leaky faucet.
HVAC and plumbing.
I don't think there a month goes by that we don't have HVAC and plumbing repairs.
HVAC we can have a month without, but plumbing no. No, there's always some plumbing issue of some sort.
And
It
then
seems like.
just something I haven't seen before. Can you tell me what a Gaga pit is?
It is an enclosure that balls go into that is a piece of playground equipment.
Okay.
Yeah. I've never actually seen them play it, so I don't really know how it's played, but it sounds like they have a lot of fun. So. All right. And last up is the budget to actual statements, and because this is the end of a quarter, so the thing that we tend to look at in these is whether or not there's a negative number here in the available for the function, and that's something that we try to avoid at the end of the quarter because we have to report all of these statements to the APS and the PED, and they don't like it when they see negative numbers there, so you will see no negative numbers in any of the functions. So, which is what we like to see. Anything else? Nope. Yep. Any questions on the December financial statements? Which I will post later tonight, I promise. The full.
They would be able to see this actually on the website right now because it's on the finance page.
Yes, true. Yep.
So if you all wanted to look at this report as it is right now, it would be on the finance page from last week's meeting.
Great.
Any questions?
Well, if there's no questions, then we respectfully request that the GC approve the financial statements and cash disbursements for the month ending December 31, 2025.
And just bringing the GC back to the agenda related to what Elizabeth just mentioned, we're on item 6.2 and ready to entertain a motion when you're ready.
And this is Rainey. I make a recommendation to approve the financial statements and cash disbursements for the month ending 12/31/25.
This is Hay, and I second that.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey. I approve.
And this is Hay, and I approve.
And the motion passes. On to item 6.3, recommendation to approve bar FY26-12 24109.
And this bar is for, it's Idea-B, which is special ed funds for pre-K, which also includes kindergarten. And in the past, we have used it for our Diag, who was an employee at the school, but she did not return this year. So we had originally budgeted for an employee, but we're using an outside contractor. And the person who's actually doing assessments for kindergartners this year is a school psychologist. So we're just moving the funds from an employee Diag to a contracted school psychologist.
If there are no questions, is there a motion and a second?
Yes, this is Rainey. I make a recommendation to approve bar FY26-12 24109.
This is Hay, and I second that.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey. I approve.
And this is Hay, and I approve.
The motion passes. Item 6.4, recommendation to approve temporary loans from other funds for the quarter ending December 31st, 2025.
So what she's scrolling through quite quickly is our quarterly report to PED.
It's an important bit on the last page.
And this is basically, you can find every number of this, any of these numbers on the financial statements that we just went over with you. And if any of you would like to have that kind of crossover, if you'll let me know, I'll be glad to sit down with you. It is a little tedious, but it is something that we do once a quarter. And it basically gives PED the information regarding our cash inflows and outflows from June 30th through current period. So it tells them, about our total revenues by fund. Can you go up a little higher? Sorry. It gives you revenues, keep going. Revenues by fund, expenditures, this we can stay here. Revenues by fund, expenditures by fund. Also, what we have sitting on the balance sheet for liabilities, which is what I was talking about a little bit on the balance sheet. And then it ties to actual cash in the bank. And so this we do quarterly with Public Education Department. They don't get the financial statements you look at. This is what they get. And then we have to upload something that shows every account and the expenses and encumbrances for year to date. And so they take those kind of from a different place and tie it into here to make sure that all of our numbers tie. So this is the reporting that we do to Public Education Department, and then a copy of this goes to Albuquerque Public Schools. Now you can talk about temporary loans.
Okay. So part of the cash report is the PD wanting to see that we have enough money in our operational account to cover what we've spent in the grants that we're waiting for reimbursement for. So if you remember from when I went over the financial statements, we have over $697,000 in operational, and this is how much the negative balance is.
Might have them look at that too.
Oh yeah, it's actually in the report too. So it's $69,539. So we have more than enough to cover it, and that is coming from a little over 32,000 in the 24,000 funds, and a little 37,500 in the 27,000 funds.
And as mentioned, I mentioned before, the 24,000 funds are basically grants that we receive money through APS. And then the 27,000s are grants we receive directly from PED.
Any questions about the temporary loans to other funds? Or the cash report?
Mary, I appreciate the clarification about the 24,000s coming through APS. Just kind of tangential, for charter schools that are state authorized, do they not have 24,000 funds?
They do, but they come through PED.
Okay.
Part of that is what type of funds they are. So most of the 24,000s are Title I, IDEA-B. And so you still get those funds as a state charter. But for us, the 24,000s come through the district.
And 27 through PED.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions? Okay. So again, we're on item 6.4, and is there a motion and a second?
This is Rainey. I make a motion to approve the temporary loans from other funds for the quarter ending 12/31/25.
This is Hay, and I second that.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey. I approve.
And this is Hay, and I approve.
The motion passes. Item 6.5, the next Finance Committee meeting is on March 5th. Elizabeth and Mary, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Agenda item 7, Policy Committee. 7.1, no summary from previous Policy Committee meeting. 7.2, next Policy Committee meeting to be determined. Item 8, Academic Excellence Committee. 8.1, summary from previous Academic Excellence Committee meeting. The agenda says February 4th, but we met a week prior on January 28th. And we spent our time together as a committee looking at the strategic plan, specifically Objective 3, school community. And there are elements of that objective which require staff voice. We had a conversation as a committee about future survey questions to staff members so we can get some baseline data for the strategic plan. So we had a really good conversation about that and potentially not just asking questions related to the strategic plan directly, but we had a conversation about just a few other items as well that might be incorporated into a survey. And Lori and Kana have, they're going to be working on that in the interim between now and our next meeting at the beginning of March. We were originally going to meet in January, but then, just with schedules, we had to push some things back. So instead of meeting pretty much in consecutive weeks, we decided to meet on the 28th, no February meeting, and then we'll next meet on the 4th of March. That is my update from the Academic Excellence Committee. Kana or Lori, anything that you would like to add?
Not necessarily specifically about the Academic Excellence Committee necessarily, but we do know that the legislature is in session, and I do have some updates for the board about what's being discussed up there. If that's of interest, you guys can we can make space in this agenda or not at your discretion, Brian.
How about, would you mind? That's a great idea. Could we add something to the March agenda following the end of the session? So you can do like an end of session wrap up?
That's a great idea. I can do that.
Awesome. Thank you for the prompt. Kana, anything you wanted to add from a committee perspective?
I'm excited to see the results of the surveys.
Yep.
But I love surveys. So.
Item 9, Council Development Committee, 9.1, review status of board member training hours and training opportunities. Between our last meeting and tonight's meeting, we did receive an email from the charter school team at the Public Education Department, and we need to make sure we're getting our training hours done.
Can I comment on that? So I'm in, or I have a Canva account that was set up for this governance. What was it called? It was specific for charter school governance training. When I say I was not prepared for the density of the information, I was not prepared. And it's taking me a little bit longer than I would like to admit to actually retain it. So I have a lot of it downloaded. I don't do very well with auditory learning because they have like slides and videos. Like I need to be reading it and marking it and interacting with it. So yeah, but I'll put a deadline on myself, a self-imposed deadline. So we're not like at May 31st and I haven't done it yet. But just so you know, I am working on it.
I appreciate that. And of course, it's been a while since I've done that intro training for charter school board members. I forget if there's an evaluation piece where you can provide feedback.
Oh, for me too. I don't know.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
When you get that done and if there isn't a way for you to provide that feedback, just let me know and I can get the feedback to PED another way.
Okay, but I know I can also be a little overly intense with it. I'm sure I don't have to spend as much time on it to get through some true or false questions, but I want to make sure that I'm really understanding what I'm looking at.
Which is very much appreciated.
Yes. Yeah. But it is dense. It was more than I was anticipating. So.
And again, remind me, I mean, Lori, this might be a question for you. Will that get you 7 hours of your training or all 10 that's required of new board members?
I think it's all 10 for new board members.
Oh, so once I do this, then I would have met the requirement?
I think so. I'll double check on that, but that's my understanding.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Because I think when I did it, it was 7, and then I had to do 3 additional hours. And then, hey, in future years, for continuing board members, the annual training requirement is 5 hours annually.
Okay. Awesome.
And Rainey, how are things going with you?
I need to get on that. I've
Okay.
been meaning to email them to schedule for some of those sessions. Yeah, I am way behind on that as well.
Okay. Still have some time.
Yep.
I started getting anxious when I saw the spreadsheet come in.
I did too.
All right, let's go back to our agenda. Item 9.2, as a reminder, just make sure that you just have in the back of your mind anyone that you potentially think would be a good fit for consideration for joining us here on the Governing Council. Item 10, Director Support Committee, nothing to report. Item 11, Audit Committee, nothing to report. And we have made it to the end of the agenda, so I'm happy to entertain a motion for adjournment.
This is Rainey. I make a motion to adjourn.
This is Hay, and I second it.
Thank you. Roll call vote. This is Brian. I approve.
This is Rainey. I approve.
And this is Hay, and I approve.
The motion passes, and the meeting is adjourned at 6:28 p.m.
Hey, Brian, can you guess where I am?
I can tell by the color of the wall behind you.